Welcome, Aquarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I am selecting the Empress card as your overall energy on what is the spring equinox, the beginning of the astrological new year for you. This is a beautiful harbinger of the power of your ability to communicate gently but powerfully, the necessity to not only stay in attunement with the rhythm of the effort that you're making, the needs of those you work with, the timing that is appropriate to your field of activity, but also the ability to honor what is special within you and others. This is about recognizing that every effort is an act of love. Every effort is an alignment with the abundance of the universe. Everything we have is at our fingertips, and our ability to maximize the harvest is the opportunity that you are embodying at this time. This feels like a time of joy, of being loved, being appreciated and enjoyed. And this is critical for a new way you're having to express yourself and enjoy your value to a community. And this is a general reading, Aquarius. It isn't going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. And I appreciate the time that you spend with me here. So thank you for your support. And I have pulled from the Chakra Crystal Oracle this one of two cards that is about chakra balance. This is an activation of all your chakras, indicating that there is an alignment that is occurring for you. And the card reads, "Harmony makes the song of life sweeter." So this is about everything being in flow, you being in flow, you being in flow within and without. And it's beautiful energy in terms of this ability to communicate the power and the abundance of a world that we are privileged to be a part of. That reminder is essential right now, as the external environment can feel chaotic, destructive, and at times cold, cruel, diminished for some of us. So your ability to promote your efforts that are acts of love is a powerful emblem. And this is clarified by the Tower card. This is a beautiful omen to me that really taps into your unique talent and wisdom. The Tower card is associated with other astrological signs, but I equate the lightning, that this is often displayed on this card and on other cards, the finger of God, the yod. I associate that with Aquarian energy, with the planet Uranus. So this is about sudden, disruptive seeming, ruinous, but blessings in disguise, the destruction of something that is no longer serving its purpose. These are the institutions, the social structures that we've come to rely on that are, in fact, more laborious and dysfunctional in a lot of ways than they are functional. That is not to say that the need doesn't still exist. However, you're recognizing that in the shattering or the collapse of some institution or structure that you've relied on, there is an opening for you to insert a different way, to move things in a direction that more closely resonates with your goals, with your vision. And I see this very much connected with the Empress card. cards that may not seem analogous to some, but I see you as being really masterful in your ability to navigate this kind of social change and disruption, and even a kind of comfort because of your ability to think ahead of the crowd, to innovate, to look off to future solutions. And the Empress, who understands the environment fully, understands the richness and completeness of the environment, that the resources for any direction are available, but that seats our motivation, our intention in the power of love, the power of care, of attention, of nurturing, so that we identify what is special in every environment, in every individual, and come to understand how to nurture that. In the past, I pulled from the Talisman Oracle for you the Knowledge card. And the Knowledge card is naturally about the vast desire to grow and expand, your particular ability to seek answers, to be committed to finding the solution to any situation, any problem or challenge. This also is about the strength and courage that's necessary to recognize when your knowledge is limited, when you don't know all that you need to know, and are willing, therefore, to learn, to research, to find out the information that's necessary. This represents a kind of always growing, always expanding intention, so that whatever you are doing, wherever you are, you know that it can change forward. And I'm using that to say change for the better. Change is a constant. It's around us all the time. You may be more adaptable in some ways than others, even though you are a fixed sign. Fixed signs are actually not always that good about changes that they didn't anticipate. But I do think in general, you're more future minded. And this gives you a kind of protection and a willingness to stay curious, to look at what's around the corner, to prepare for that in some way or another. And this is clarified by the Fool card. And they may seem a little bit oppositional when we think that the Fool is the Zero card. It's the beginning and the end. It's the Alpha and the Omega. This is the baby starting out in life, and this is the return back through a completion of a life journey to a new level. So one can constantly be leveling up, completing a cycle, and setting off anew with this new trust and faith in the skills and knowledge that you have developed and evolved. This is ultimately about faith in who you are. This very much is in of a piece with this idea that you can anticipate the next change. You're looking for the next thing. You not only anticipate that, but you begin to prepare and explore that in a way that makes every growth a new adventure for you. And I see you valuing yourself in new ways that encourage you to recognize that your journey of exploration is more about a process that you now own, this mastering of yourself, this awareness of your value. And this is very much in sync with Mercury and Venus retrograde cycles at this time. This is a moment of pause, of inhale, as we process the changes we've experienced, and then are willing to plan those forward, to talk about those, to think about and communicate those for others. ways to implement the changes we're experiencing within on the basis of this greater appreciation of the value we bring. In the future, I pulled from the Wild Elemental the Salmon card. This is one of my favorite creatures on the planet. And the first thing that comes to me is this idea about returning home. And it's interesting that I was sort of speaking about something like that with the Fool card, the Zero card, always going back to the beginning, the Alpha and the Omega. And the Salmon cycle is a similar kind of a metaphor for life experience. Only with the salmon, their uphill swim that ends their life, where they actually move into fresh water out of the ocean and go against the current. This is so relevant to how I see the Aquarian temperament, going against what others say or do towards their own opportunity to spawn, to reproduce before they die. So this represents moving against what others believe to be best for you, best for them. And really the amount of courage and integrity and strength and stick-to-itiveness that the success is just that much closer. The harder you have to fight your way up the hill, up the stream, the closer you are to arriving home. And home here is about the success. Home here is about your true self, your true essence, your immortal soul that lives on and on and on. So this is about this unique opportunity that you have to keep pushing against the current and moving in a way that you have been uniquely built and groomed to manage the challenges that you are facing. And this is clarified by the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords talks a lot about what is the largest impact of new moon energy coming at the end of the month is having on you. The way that this is shedding light on what you value, having challenged your own assumptions about the way things are. This is through your own personal experiences, long lived, your own way in which you have found yourself in circumstances that you might not have expected or imagined were possible. That is through this idea of understanding that as you have grown and expanded and taken more and more responsibility for the reality that you are experiencing, you realize that it is the thoughts that you set out as your intentions that help to guide your goals and your reality. And it is about mindset. So that this curiosity that you now have neutralized from what has been some painful lessons you've learned, perhaps many painful experiences you've learned from, you are in a position to share this process of getting to your own truth with others in a way that allows you to collectivize the experience of understanding what's best, allowing everyone to participate in what is their effort, their fate, their destiny. I'm sorry, not fate, their destiny, their ability to contribute from a place of strength, of finding that strength, of sharing, of listening more than sharing, but listening to how your truth is relevant to the truths of others. Understanding the multifaceted nature of truth, the subjective nature of truth, but sufficiently detaching your emotions from that so that you can identify what is just, what is fair, and what is right. I'm going to finish off this reading with a Soul's Journey Oracle, Aquarius, and hope that this reading has been insightful to you. And I have pulled the Perseverance card. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And we're right back here with the salmon. Perseverance should be the name of salmon because that uphill, upstream fight to return home, to return to the spawning ground, is really about this perseverance, as though the more resistance you receive, the more strength you gather, the more courage and determination you gather to succeed, to return back. Thank you so much. If you've enjoyed this content, please check this out. And until next time, Aquarius, namaste.